In July 2025, the United States witnessed a historic shift in immigration policy. On July 3rd, both chambers of Congress passed a sweeping immigration bill called the One Big Beautiful Bill for America, also known as ABBA. Just one day later, on Independence Day, President Donald Trump signed it into law. The name may sound patriotic, but the bill's actual content moves immigration policy in the opposite direction. It marks one of the most restrictive overhauls in modern U.S. immigration history. ABBA allocates over $170 billion specifically for immigration enforcement. Key elements of this funding include the expansion of ICE operations, construction of new border walls and barriers, additional detention centers, and advanced surveillance systems. These tools are designed not only to track undocumented immigrants, but also to monitor those in the country legally, including visa holders and green card residents. Importantly, ABBA does not create any new pathways for green card eligibility. It does not expand the quota of green cards available each year. It does not grant amnesty. It does not make family-based or employment-based immigration easier. On the contrary, it tightens every part of the system. This law empowers immigration officers with broader authority. They can now fast-track deportations of individuals suspected of violating visa terms. This includes legal permanent residents. New legal provisions allow removal without the standard lengthy court process. The motivation behind this bill stems from political pressure. Rising illegal border crossings, overstayed visas, and widely reported cases of marriage fraud in 2024 set the stage for this legislation. With Republicans holding a majority in both chambers and President Trump prioritizing immigration enforcement, the bill faced little resistance in Congress. This is not just a change in policy, it's a structural realignment. Immigration will now be viewed through a lens of surveillance, restriction, and enforcement. For millions of immigrants, including current green card holders, the message is clear: more scrutiny, fewer protections, and increased risk of status loss. Let's now break down how this law affects green card holders directly. Under the new law, legal permanent residents are now subject to deeper surveillance and stricter scrutiny across multiple areas of their lives. First, there's increased data collection. Agencies like ICE and the Department of Homeland Security have been authorized to collect broader historical and personal information about green card holders. Any prior criminal record, even if expunged or minor, may now be revisited. Second, the path to U.S. citizenship is no longer routine. Naturalization applications will undergo enhanced screening. Background checks will go deeper. More in-person interviews may be required. Any inconsistencies or unresolved issues in your past may lead to delays or even denials. Third, travel rules are tightening. If a green card holder leaves the United States for more than 6 months, Customs and Border Protection officers are now allowed to deny re-entry based on suspicion of residency abandonment. A valid green card is no longer enough. You must also prove you maintained strong ties to the U.S. while abroad. Acceptable evidence includes U.S. tax filings, proof of rent or mortgage, active employment, and family presence in the U.S. Without these, you may be flagged and referred for removal proceedings. Another critical change is the reintroduction of the public charge rule, stricter than before. Green card holders who receive federal benefits such as Medicaid, food stamps, or subsidized housing may now be deemed public charges. This could affect your ability to renew your green card or become a citizen, even if you're using legal and necessary public aid. Exemptions exist, but they are narrow. Immigrants are once again being discouraged from accessing public resources, even when legally eligible. One of the most alarming parts of the new law is the revival of the Denaturalization Task Force. This unit has been funded to investigate naturalized citizens suspected of having obtained their green cards or citizenship through fraud. This includes sham marriages, concealed criminal records, or lying on applications. If fraud is discovered, citizenship can be revoked, even years later, and the individual may be deported. This process is no longer theoretical. The new law allocates specific funds for it. Even long-term residents and citizens should now re-examine their immigration history for any vulnerabilities. The government is not just looking at new applicants. Everyone is under review. The new law has changed the landscape of immigration in the U.S., but there are still ways to protect your status and prepare for what's ahead. First, avoid extended international travel. If you're a green card holder, do not stay outside the U.S. for more than 6 months unless absolutely necessary. If you do, travel with documentation that proves ongoing ties to the United States. Tax records, lease agreements, job letters, or evidence of family responsibilities. Second, keep all documentation current. That includes renewing your green card before it expires, updating your driver's license, and storing copies of your immigration history and approvals in a secure place. Third, if you are using any kind of public assistance, consult with an immigration attorney immediately. Even if you're following the law, the new public charge rules may still hurt future applications or renewals. Fourth, if you are eligible for U.S. citizenship, apply now. Naturalized citizens have more legal protection than green card holders. While denaturalization is now funded, it still requires proof of fraud. For lawful immigrants, naturalization remains the most effective safeguard. Fifth, if you're married to a U.S. citizen, maintain thorough documentation of your relationship. Joint bank accounts, photos, travel records, texts, shared bills, and legal documents help prove that your marriage is genuine and not fraudulent. Sixth, seek legal help if you have unresolved immigration issues. This includes old deportation orders, overstayed visas, or any past legal problems. The new enforcement tools can and will be used retroactively. Don't wait for a notice in the mail or a knock on the door. Finally, stay informed. USCIS policies will continue evolving. Interview procedures will become stricter. Application fees will rise. Enforcement budgets are growing. Information is now your most important asset. The U.S. immigration system is entering a new phase, one where even legal immigrants face unprecedented oversight. But with the right knowledge, the right documentation, and proper legal guidance, you can secure your future and protect your rights. Prepare, act early, and never assume that being legal is enough.